Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills for you to level up your way with words and become much more articulate. In today's episode, we are entering the world of emotional intelligence, and we're going to be talking about how to behave right after you did something embarrassing. I used to know this one guy that would always get drunk. He was this very little guy, roughly 5'2", and he was the life of the party when he was sober. Whenever he was sober, he had this charm about him. It was pretty much impossible to hate him because he was so freaking charismatic. But by the time that he turned drunk, things would change. He was very rude, he would yell, and he would be snobby towards the surface. And when he drank, not only was he a bad person, he also did a lot of embarrassing things. There was this one time we all went out, and I still remember it like yesterday. This guy thought he was the man. He's like, yo, look at me, man. I could get any girl that I want. And he was somewhat accurate that night. He ended up making out with this 80-year-old woman. And he thought he was the man. He was like, look at me, man. I'm making out with her. And I kid you not, a bunch of us started to record him. We're just like, yo, man, he's not going to believe this the next day. The next day, when we showed him the clip of him making out with an 80-year-old lady, you could tell he was embarrassed. But soon as he spotted that he was embarrassed, he began making fun of himself. What was I thinking? Man, that lady is old enough to be my great-great-grandma. And when he was doing that, we're just like, wait a minute, you're laughing at you? I thought we were going to be laughing at you. So he wouldn't even let us have that. He was laughing at himself, and he found the cheat code on what to do whenever you do something embarrassing. You laugh at yourself. That's part one. And that is pretty much the essence of the video, but I'm actually going to give a part two as well. The part two aspect is to keep making yourself visible. Because within our crew, there were different people that did embarrassing things. This guy, whenever he would do an embarrassing thing, he would keep making his face visible over and over again until we were flooded with new memories of him. And we completely forgot that he made out with an 80-year-old woman. And now we were seeing him as his present day self. Oh, you have a graduation coming up? Okay, we'll see you there. The more that you flood people with your face right after an embarrassing moment, the more that they forget the embarrassing moment. And if you don't care, you're like, I don't care if they caught me in an embarrassing moment, then just ignore this advice. But if you do care, one of the worst things you can do is just disappear. Because when you disappear, that's the last memory that they have of you, the embarrassing moment. If this guy, he just disappeared after making out with that 80-year-old lady, our last memory of him would have been of him making out with that 80-year-old lady. And it would have just been engraved in our brain. But since he kept showing up, we forgot about that embarrassing moment. The only reason we remembered was because a lot of us had a video of it. Other than that, we forgot. It was of the distant past. So whenever you get caught up doing something embarrassing, be the first to make fun of yourself if need be. And this is a good thing. There are a lot of research that says if you laugh when you're in physical pain, the physical pain will feel less. And I tried this out one time. I stubbed my toe on the wall and I was like, I was over here laughing, and it worked. The pain was way less. So if you could laugh at yourself during physical pain, the pain will reduce. But don't just stop at physical pain. Go to emotional pain as well. And if you could do that, then you'll be sort of like this guy where he's doing embarrassing stuff, but we keep forgetting because he makes fun of himself and he keeps showing face until we forget. If you enjoyed today's talk, go on and drop that like for me right on below. And thank you very much for joining the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel.